some of us are looking forward to Rick versus Negan. When is the Tobias versus Black Lightning showdown gonna happen? When are they gonna throw it down?
It's coming. It's coming.
What episode?
Well, let's see. Somewhere between now and then.
You trying to take this man? We want him employed.
Seriously. Somewhere between now and then. It's funny. I actually just made a Negan and Tobias comparison. I think the two of them are the most complex characters, especially villains on TV. I was fortunate enough to write the look into Tobias's past episode, and I think it's important. Villains don't see themselves as villains. Villains see themselves in just the same way that the heroes do. And when you find out that there's a nuanced past behind him, that he has obviously a very complicated relationship with his father, which, spoiler alert, he settled with a nice big hug. I think it's interesting. So seeing that journey of the two of them back to one another, I think it's an important one, And last we saw Tobias, he's shot, his sister's killed. He didn't need other reasons to dislike Black Lightning, so he's coming back with a vengeance.
So it seems like you guys wrote, and a lot of this has been done very far out. What has it been like to see the fan response to the show and to the different characters, and is that influencing any ideas that you're having for season 2?
It's amazing to see the response, because we wrote it in a bit of a bubble, right? And so it's great. It's really great, because it's satisfying to see that what we were doing was in the right path, that it spoke to Salim's vision, which obviously was very important, that it touched on the original source material, and that it created a very relevant world. It's hard not to read the thoughts, tweets, moments, comments, you name it, and get inspired, right? There's only so many things that we can do in the world that we have, but we're very inspired and excited. It's a generator, right? You feel the energy of the fans, you feel the support, and we already know what we want to do, and a lot of that's being reinforced, a lot of it's being challenged, and I think both are really good things as writers.
When you're picking, outside of Tobias, when you're picking the scenes that you write, who did you find that the most compelling or interesting to write for this season?
Yeah, I love them all, and that's an easy answer for a writer to say, but when you're in these characters, because they're so distinct, that they're truly unique voices, you want to know who they are. Gamby is, on the surface, the easiest, but as we've gone on throughout the season, he's more and more complicated in all of the secrets that he has, what he's sharing, what he's not. Obviously, Anissa is an amazing character to write about. Jennifer is a very smart teenager who has a lot going on in her life. And then if you look at the co-parenting relationship between Lynn and Jeff, you just don't see that on TV, so that's wonderful. I think that Lynn's actually a superhero in her own right, being a mother, being a doctor, being someone who's an ex-wife who's still in love, that had to sacrifice her own marriage with this guy. Crondon has made, as I said, Tobias Whale just the most interesting person. Black Lightning is Black Lightning. We've built a show around him, so obviously we love him. And then Lala, come on.
Yeah, okay. That is an acceptable response. Come on, yeah.
Go for it.
What are your thoughts on the success of the Black Panther movie as it relates to the success of Black Lightning on TV?
We came out first, fortunately, and I think so we don't say, oh, it was only because of Black Panther that people are watching this. I think that there's enough room in the world for both of these heroes. I think they're both amazing. I love that there are two black superheroes that are representing a community that has never been represented in that way before, certainly outside of the comics. I love that it's coming at the time that it's coming at, and that people are responding to both. I think it's actually an amazing thing that it's happening today.
When you were on stage, you mentioned that you felt like if more people could hear the kinds of conversations with the type of people you get to talk to, that we would be living in a different kind of world. How do you kind of take what you get to hear in the writer's room from the different types of voices, from the different types of black people, and kind of try to portray that and infuse it on the show? I'm assuming it impacts you, but how do you think it works?
Well, I think anything you're exposed to is going to impact you. And if you're exposed to something that you think you know, that goes deeper and deeper and deeper as far as the emotion, the intensity, the levels, the knowledge is going to impact you even further. Like I grew up in a place called Stockton, California, which is very diverse. I've had friends that are of every ethnicity my entire life, but when you're sitting in a room where you're the only Caucasian or certainly one of few Caucasians in a room, it changes your viewpoint. And sometimes it's just smart to sit back and listen, sit back and learn. And if you're given an opportunity to contribute to the conversation, you do it. If you don't, you process.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
This way.